Right, well, welcome back to the Davy Brown 990 restoration. My name's Barry, for those of you who are new. Today we're going to put on the air cleaner frame for the front end of the tractor. Now I know some of you, when you see this, you'll start screaming. I must have had a brain fart when I did this, but it is what it is, and the tractor's going to get a coat of paint when it's finished anyway, so this might end up still the right colour, but we'll have a look, eh? Let's crack on. Do you love it? Do you love it? As I say, I must have had a brain fart when I painted that. It might get a rub down yet and get painted chocolate. Let us know in the comments what you think about it. So, first things we're going to do, we're going to put the side support on here. Right. Now I find it's easier to put the bolt on the inside with the nuts and washers on the outside, because you can get at the nuts to tighten them easier than you can if they were on the inside. Now, again, all these nuts and bolts are original. I've had a bath, you can see they're well worn, but we're trying to keep the tractor as original as possible, and everything still works and it's fine. It'll be good. I find it's easier to assemble it this way than to try and assemble the frame on the tractor. If you've got help, it's great. If you haven't got help, then it's really difficult, because you need hands to hold the filter, hands to hold the frames, hands to put the nuts and bolts in. It's easier, I find it's easier to do this. Right. Again, we're not going to tighten anything here for the moment. Nuts, bolts, 2 bolts, 2 nuts, 2 washers. Right. I'm going to put this end cap in. Now that goes inside the frame. And again, for tidiness, we're going to put the bolt on the outside of this one, because I can't remember whether the tractor bonnet is, how close the tractor bonnet is to this. The beauty of having a fully serviced workshop there. So I'm going to just pop this all together loosely, and then we're going to go in there and we're going to assemble. We're going to put this side on the tractor, and we're going to then bolt this side into place. All these nuts and bolts had a good wire brush, just to make life easy with them. Remember, nothing gets tightened till the end. Oh, it's getting dirty, man. Getting dirty already. Right, first bit put together. That bit we're going to now mount in the front frame and the tombstone. Then we're going to join this to this, and again this upright piece goes in inside that frame. If I can see what I'm doing, goes in there. Right, let's relocate and we'll get sorted out in there. Right, so here we are. We've got my new lights installed. We can see what we're doing tonight. I'm going to put the radiator in first in the back of here, then I'm going to put the air filter frame on here. I've also made these today these have turned up, which was some 5/16 UNC stud, and I've made 2 rubber washers to go onto them out of the same rubber that I've made the new feet for the radiator. I bought a block of rubber, and I'm sure they are supposed to have rubber mounts on them, because I think the bodywork, the tin work for the front sits on here. But I might be wrong. Had a look in the parts book. Wasn't anything shown in the parts book. They're like a little engine mount, I think, in the front end sits on here. Right. I'm going to get this ready. I'm going to bring my radiator in, sit my radiator in, put that in. We are going to use the old air pipes from the radiator to the manifold, from the manifold to the air filter, just to stabilise it, to give it some extra support for tonight. I haven't been able to get any new pipes as yet. Those old ones, they're serviceable, but they're very, very hard. They'll do to hold this in place for me at the moment, but we will be replacing them with new soft pipes as we can find them and get them. Okay, let's get this done. Right, so we were one of these missing, so out of a bit of 6mm plate that I've used for the top of the wheels back there, had a bit of scraps left over, so I made a new plate to go on there to hold the radiator in place. There was also a rubber foot missing. You put that on the tractor frame like that, you put your radiator on, you put that on the top, and you put the steel plate on like that. When I took it to bits, I was one of those missing, and what the other one was split through the side. So I ordered some 10mm rubber, and this, when you measure it, this turns out to be 10.6, but I've got 2 at 10.6 and 2 at 10mm. So what I'm going to do is put one new one and one old one on either side to keep it balanced. The old ones will go on the bottom. We'll put the old ones on the bottom to give it the proper height, and the new ones will go on the top, just purely and simply to be supports. So let's get this sorted out. We'll put that on there. There's the old one, and we'll put that one on there. Right, we'll go and get the radiator, come in, sit it in place, put our new rubbers on, put our clamps in, tighten it down. 2 minutes. Right, this radiator is the original. It has been pressure tested, and I've also painted it to keep it nice and tidy. So put that on there, that through the hole. I just want to get a couple of turns on here till it just about stands up on its own without wobbling. Because if you there, that's it. Right, this side. So again, we're going to put we've got our old rubber on the bottom, our new rubber. I'll go on the top with my clamping plate in. Let's get this. God, it's still red hot here today. Hottest day of the year so far, and tomorrow it's going to get even hotter apparently. There we go. Again, we'll just put a couple of turns on that, take a bit of weight on it. Okay, now this is the old air intake hose from the radiator to the manifold. I can just squeeze it with my thumbs. It is purely and simply going on as support to give the radiator, take a bit of pressure off these feet down here. So I'm going to pop that on like that, just to give it a bit of support. And now we'll tighten these down. Now we'll tighten these down until these steel caps, oh dear, sweating here. And tighten them down till the steel caps contact the ferrules and it locks up. Then basically all you've got is the rubber holding the radiator steady. There's a bracket here on the front. I thought this bracket was for a stabilising bar to this front airframe. Apparently it's not. Along with this clip here, there is an umbilical comes in through the clip through here to what used to be a blind, apparently. A blind for the winter that you would pull up and down so your tractor would heat up in the winter. Anyway, I'm going to put that cloth in there because when I bring the frame in, I'm going to put this side on first. I'm going to bring the top and side in together and stand it on that cloth while I connect these two. And then I'm going to tighten it onto there. So, let's get the next bit done. So I've got my side bit. Where's my little socket? Got my side bit. All these bolts have had a die down them. All the holes have had a tap through them. Just to make life easy when you're putting things back together. The last thing you want is to be messing on trying to get threads to pick up when you just make your life easy. Right. Now again, we'll just nip that. There's 2 nuts and bolts there, 2 bolts there. The 2 bolts there are for that, nuts and bolts are for this. Let's go get the rest of it. Yes, I know, we've already mentioned the unfortunate incident of the red air filter when I really should have painted it brown, and I've got a very strong suspicion that that will be coming back off to get painted brown. And I must have had a brain fart at the time, but I just don't know why on earth. Oh yeah. Well, that was a good idea at the time. I remember thinking to myself when I painted, I'm thinking to myself, that'll look nice that when it's finished. But then when you put it together, you start looking at it and thinking, which idiot thought that was a good idea? Now it pays you, because this air filter is quite heavy. There's no oil in it yet. It's still dry. However, it is still quite heavy, so it pays you just to support it until you've got it in position and everything's done, everything's tightened up. Where are we? Up there. My little socket. tell you what, mate, these lights make a hell of a difference in here. Couldn't believe it before when I put them in, switched them on for the first time. But I'll tell you what else I also found out as well. I was looking at my strip light there, and the top of it is absolutely covered in red spray. Like overspray from when I've been priming. So took the tube out, gave that a good wash down, so that's helped a bit. Right, in here, what all I'm doing, tightening up the nuts. I'm not rotating the bolts, because if you rotate the bolt heads, it'll take the paint off the metal work that we have just painted. See the sweating. It's still, this is 8 o'clock on the night time now. Right. Oh dear, dear, dear. Let's get one little ratchet. Pop that, just ease that back in. Nice and firm. Just little ones, these aren't. I'll tell you what I'll be doing is doing these all firm and then revisiting them afterwards, coming back and making sure that things are secure. Like that one is very loose. Again, just holding the bolt head. There we go. Again, we've got here the old hose. This one is extremely hard, but again, it will help stabilize the radiator. We'll just pop that on there. Pop that on there. I'm not going to tighten anything up. You'll see it's just purely and simply to stabilize. Right. So what we've got: airframe on, good and solid. Radiator on. There's a bit of movement there, but they're tight, both sides. If anyone knows that I have missed something in the stabilization of this radiator, please let me know. I've looked in the parts books, I've looked in the manuals. There is nothing I can see that holds that radiator up other than the mounting plates here and here. That's all I can see. Radiator was pressure tested, cleaned. You can see that's your radiator because that's still a bit, that's twisted. It took a blow on this side at some point in its life and it's bashed in a bit, but it's been pressure tested. You can see here the fins. I got a good pressure wash, I got a dip, and I painted it with high temperature exhaust paint, black. So it's just looking nice and clean and tidy. I've got a cowl from Colin. I've got a cowl off Colin because when the tractor came and didn't have a one. I've got a cowl to go on the other end, which will then need to be secured into this side frame somehow, but we'll have to have a look at where that fits on. Right, well that's for this video. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, subscribe please. It does help the channel grow tremendously. Leave any comments below, any advice or guidance that you've got, any questions you've got, stick them in the comments. We'll try our best to get back to you with them. So thank you very much. Don't forget Don't overthink it, it's just nuts and bolts.